up, everyone? Good morning and welcome back to our channel. Happy Monday. It is a new week here and it is officially July, and the news about Ensley is finally out there. So thank you guys so much for all of the love on that announcement. We are super excited for her, and now we can talk openly about it here on the vlog and just in life. So we're very excited. So many fun things to do on a Monday morning here. First up, we are going to be printing out the names from the orders from this weekend. It is nice just to get this started and going because this is a mindless task that once it's going, it can do it on its own. So I can multitask, get this going, and do something else at the same time. And later this week we have, what are you doing? We have our fall photo shoot, so we have to make sure everything is the right size, steamed, ready to go. So that is also on this week's to-do list and probably happening today. Here comes Nick. What is up?
Mondays are really nice because sometimes you just come in and you're like, I'm ready to conquer.
And you worked all weekend.
Yeah, but it's like Monday is like the fresh start, so I'm just like, it's a clean break from the weekend. I'm ready. Yeah, we did work all weekend.
First up is...
But you want to see what I did this weekend?
Yeah.
We sewed and totally turned around all the subscription bandanas.
He's showing us a sneak peek.
So that's pretty cool.
So all we have to do is make the new subscriber bandanas.
Yeah, but there's gonna be a lot of them.
Yeah, because you're doing something crazy.
Crazy. Does the vlog even know?
I don't know.
We're doing a promotion, get your first box free. We've been wanting to like grow subscription, but I can imagine if you've never like seen the box, and because it's like a surprise, no one ever knows what's in it. So they're like, I don't know, I'm a bit on the fence. We're like, you know what? We know you're gonna love it. Get your first box free. And so this is the first time we've ever done anything like that. We did a promotion before where it was like, I think 40% off last Black Friday, and that got a lot of people to sign up. But we're like, you know what? We want to grow it. We want people to see the subscription box for what it is, and they got to actually have it in their hands to see that. So we're offering a free box.
I hear Ensley steaming.
Yeah, don't burn yourself. The steam.
Whoa. A beautiful fall top.
So pretty.
It's so cute.
Love it.
Pink pumpkin.
Plus, an exclusive Tales of Puff bandana.
Wow. Our first sneak peek. Probably not actually, but.
Probably not.
Love it.
But maybe this one.
Okay, which item are you most excited for?
That's
clothing
First
and
of all,
bandana.
There's a lot of stuff up there.
Yeah, there is a lot of stuff.
Clothing and bandana. Okay. So many things. I had to choose. What choose?
You have to choose one.
I know. I'm really digging this skirt.
You love skirts.
I love this skirt.
It's so cute.
And I love this color.
And you could pair it with so many tops.
You could. And it has pockets.
We love a pocket.
Yeah. So this is probably my favorite clothing item. I'm feeling this.
Pumpkin spice. I think that might be my favorite top.
Yeah, this is really cute too. I was like in between.
Nick is reading my new little email idea.
Did you tell them what the email's about?
No.
So, if you guys have shopped at Tales of Pup, or you've shopped online and you're like, okay, you go to a website, you're like, oh, I like this stuff, whatever, I want to place an order. I wonder, do they have a discount code? Well, we do, and a lot of other shops do. So you sign up to the email list, you get 10% off your first order. It's a win-win, okay? So we send an email out, and it's our welcome to the Tales of Pup family email. But there's more information we want to share. We want to share like our origin story, things like that, other products that we sell. And so Danielle is like crafting an email about our origin story, who we are, how we grew, where we are today. So I'm reading it, and I have some comments for her. The craziest fact from the writing of that is how many patterns that we have in our shop now. Because we started with, well, I don't know how many we actually started with, but one of my favorite YouTube clips is of me being like, we're having a photo shoot. We have 5 bandanas, and it's so funny now because now we have over 250 patterns. Well, speaking of our story, giving you guys like a little quick recap, Danielle literally made 2 bandanas for our dogs, then was like, what do you think about these, Nick? She posted some pictures on social. People were like, oh my gosh, where'd you get those? Danielle was like, I made them. And then she was like, Nick, people were like, oh, can I have some? Or I want to buy them. And she was like, maybe we have a little business idea here. So that day, Danielle and I went to Joann's. We got like $100 starter sewing machine. Danielle
Which
really
we used for a long
we
time.
used for a long time. A singer. Danielle really didn't know how to sew. And then she got like a few patterns. I think you got like our first 5 patterns. And literally the amount of fabric that she got was like a yard or half a yard.
Yeah.
Which like is literally like just this much fabric.
much.
Not even that much.
And what is so crazy and so fun, and why a lot of you guys are here on the YouTube channel probably, is that we literally have filmed since the very beginning. Like, there is a YouTube clip of us saying, we want to start this dog bandana thing.
We didn't even have the name.
Yeah, we
for
didn't
Tails.
know.
Yeah, this
what
dog
we were gonna
bandana
call
thing.
it. And it's so crazy that we didn't film a ton back then. We filmed like traveling, and that day, for some reason, we filmed, and we have that clip, and ever since then we had started filming, starting our business. And there obviously are a lot of days that we're not filmed, but there is so much that is filmed, and it's so cool that we have that to look back on. Because you forget like where you were at that, like you forget how much you've accomplished in that period of time.
We've really documented the journey from like the birth of the idea to the present. Like Danielle said, like not every single moment is captured. But the one thing that's really cool about like video, pictures do this somewhat, video does this like almost, it is almost magic. What I would suggest is whenever you want to have, basically it brings you back to the exact moment. You can literally in your mind's eye be like, oh my God, I remember what I was feeling like. I remember all these specific details. So what I was gonna say is, whether it's traveling or there's anything specific in your life that you want to literally transport yourself back in time and get those same feelings, just get out a camera. Even if it's literally just for your own personal thing, you don't have to make YouTube videos, you don't have to do all that, but like film it, because it is, we still film traveling stuff so that we can like actually look back. You know, you go travel and you're like, oh, I want to take these pictures for the memories. Yes, pictures for memories are great. We like taking pictures, but if you can film something, you are literally going to be able to time travel back in your mind's eye and remember that exactly how it was.
I feel like the biggest topic that we get asked about, and I don't know, just people are constantly asking, how did we grow? How are we successful? Those type of questions, which the answer, I don't think Nick is going to think this, but the answer to that question is exactly what Nick came to me and wanted to start doing right now. What book are you reading?
Well, I read a few different books.
He is reading a lot of books. One of the books that he is reading inspired him to do this, and it is
the Never Lose a Customer Again book?
I don't know. You'll tell me once I tell you.
Okay.
Basically, he wants to start manifesting and putting the good energy out there. Basically, and this for sure is part of me. I do not surround myself with negative people because they bring me down. So I feel like that's kind of all goes in hand in hand of, you need to be putting good energy out there. You need to believe in yourself. And I feel like for the most part, I'm not someone who believes in manifesting because it seems like a bunch of mumbo jumbo to me. But when you think about how it gets there and why people believe in it, it does make sense. If you're constantly saying, I can't do this, or I'm not capable, you're going to put those barriers in your way to make that be your reality. And how did we get here? What is our success, or how are we successful, and how are we here? We believed in ourselves from the very beginning. Every person who told us that we couldn't do it, or
and that was pretty much,
I don't know,
literally our family, every single person was like, yeah, I don't know about that.
or like they thought it could be a good idea for like a hobby, but not a full-time business, especially one that we would employ people and have an office and be here 5 years later. It is so crazy, but we never doubted ourselves. And every time we had a different dream or different goal, we were always finding a way to make it happen, instead of saying, well, we don't know how to do it, so we can't do it. I don't think we've ever said that. If we had an idea, we never said, well, we don't know how to do it.
That's true.
We always just figured it out. And even, for example, for embroidery, Nick actually brought it up the other day. He was like, do you know how scary that was for me? But he never told me that. We had the opportunity to buy a cheap used embroidery machine. That's how we got started in there. I know. Well, compared to a new one.
Yeah.
So it was just like taking those leaps when we had them and figuring it out as we went. A lot of YouTube videos of us watching, Googling, and talking if we could find someone who knew how to do it, but for the most part it was just learning, trial and error.
The thing that I think is so interesting about that is like, so first off, it's like the mindset of like having the belief that like no, I believe that I can do this, and no matter what obstacles I come across, we will be able to conquer those and figure it out. Because the truth is, we didn't know how to do almost all of this. We really didn't know how to sew. We definitely didn't know how to start and run a business. We didn't know how to embroider. We didn't know how to do all of these things, but that like we didn't know how to do it did not lead us to having like a, oh, I can't do it, or this isn't going to work out. The entire time we believed this is going to work out, we will be able to figure it out, and no matter what obstacle comes in our way, we will be able to conquer it, we will be able to figure it out no matter what. That's really what the belief is.
For the most part, money does help you, but it's not the only way to get where you want to be, obviously depending on what your goals are and stuff. But like, we didn't have a ton of money to start this business. We reinvested the profits to continue to grow. So how did we buy that embroidery machine? We had a business that was already running for 3 years that we had profits to buy that machine.
The other thing about money can, you do need a certain amount, but money can sometimes hinder you in the way that, like, if we would have been like, okay, we need $100,000 loan to start our business, and we're gonna get office space, and we're gonna hire people, we're gonna do all these things. Honestly, Tails Up Hut might have failed because we didn't get to learn and grow along the way, whereas we did not do that. What we did is we started with a $100 sewing machine and maybe like $20, $30 worth of fabric, and that was pretty much all the upfront expense. And then we just started experimenting on Etsy, and we just slowly grew and learned along the way. We were able to, you're gonna make a ton of mistakes. We were able to make those mistakes and learn from them.
And we've made a lot of changes. I think that change is the hardest thing. A lot of people don't like change in general, but on the back end, a lot of business owners or even hobbyists think that you have to perfect something before you put it into the public eye, because you can't change it once you're there, and that is definitely not true. We've changed the sizing of our bandanas, we've changed the pricing of our bandanas, we've changed the whole entire realm of our business by being a dog bandana shop to being a dog mom shop. We have so many new product lines, but like adding product lines is not really as much of change as I'm thinking of like specific products, like the way that our things look and all of that look very different than they used to, and you just change it along the way. And for the most part, as long as you like portray it in a certain way, then it's going to be a good thing.
Well, I think that kind of gets into this idea of like, change is a nice word to say that. Our stuff was not nearly as good when we started out as it is now, and it will always be that way. But if you wait until it's perfect, you probably will never ever start, because I guarantee you that even our stuff that's going out in embroidery today is probably a little bit better than it was yesterday and then the day before, because you accumulate experience over time. And so you have to just say, all right, this is good enough. I'm going to put this out into the world. I will learn from my mistakes. I'll take people's feedback, and I will get better over time.
So how does it make you feel knowing that you came to me saying you want to start manifesting and like putting things out there, when if you look back, we've kind of been doing that the whole time?
Well, so for me with the manifesting, I really want to be more specific. So like for us, I've always had a belief in myself. I've always had a belief in Danielle, and I don't know really where that came from. Maybe like my parents I think my parents instilled in me, you can do whatever you put your mind to. There's nothing that's stopping you from doing that. So maybe from childhood, I've just had that belief. So that part of the manifesting, I think, is kind of innate in me. But now it's more like I want to have, like, you know, I don't know if you guys have heard the stats. I don't even know what the exact stat is. But if you write down your goals, you're like X% a lot more likely to achieve said goal. And so, and it's the same thing, like if you write it down and then like you speak it out loud, particularly if you speak it out loud to somebody else. Like for a business, when we decided, you know what, we're doing this, you know, we're putting our shop up online and we're telling people this is what we're doing. That's like, you know, I'm kind of manifesting that to happen out into the universe. And so I just want to have specific goals that I write down, that I speak out loud, that type of stuff.
And this specifically was like targeting in his mind from the video of will we hit $1 million this year? And he came to me and said, like, we need to write down specific goals. Like, okay, we all agree that our goal is to get there and we think we can do it. So how are we going to get there? What things are we going to take in the next 6 months to get there? And that's what we have been working on since that video. And I feel like it all is just very cool to look back, see all the progress, and see where we want to be. And overall, it's just really cool to see our business grow. It's like our little baby. Ensley's having a real baby, but this is our business baby.
Our business is like a child to us. The last thing I will say on that is, so belief is where it starts, but if belief
Action
doesn't,
is where it happens.
if belief doesn't turn, yes, if belief doesn't turn into action, then you're just dreaming. And so, it's hard to take the first step.
Man of wisdom.
It's hard to take the first step, but when you have a plan and you write it down and you speak it into the world, then your brain's gonna start thinking, how can I achieve this plan? And then guess what? You just start doing those things. Check them off one at a time. So
whether you were here to learn how we became successful or you wanted to be inspired on your own, I hope that you learned something from this.
The last thing I'll say about successful
he just
is
said the last thing.
well,
the last
you said that successful is very like
it's so weird. When
it's
people
not a
say-
tangible thing.
When people ask us how we're successful, I'm like, I always am like, why do you think I'm successful? Like, because I think I'm successful? Not really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it's really cool what we've built, but we have all these other goals that it never feels like you're successful because you're aiming for this.
Yes, that keeps us moving forward. If you're measuring yourself against other people, that is not the good measuring stick. What you should be measuring is yourself the day before and the day before that, and just constantly improving. So the reason that maybe sometimes we don't feel successful is we're always looking towards the future. We're not really looking towards the past. We're trying to do better now. So it's like, if I'm resting on my laurels, then why would I ever grow? How would I ever continue to achieve those goals? I wouldn't, because I'd be like, oh, well, I'm already successful. I've made it. I'll just sit here and chill. No, that's not what we do.
Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.